What's good, everybody? It's your boy back with another reaction video. I will be reacting to three creepy true horror stories. This is from Mr. Nightmare, I believe. So I'm gonna try to do quite a few of these since the break is happening right now. The hard times I call it. We ain't gonna call this 2020 more. We're gonna call it hard times. Anybody know what that's from? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, I'm gonna do quite a few of these from various different uh, channels. Like some may be animated, some not. So these are gonna be like the filler because I'm gonna start doing reactions to other TV shows that I keep procrastinating about. I'm like, I don't have to go to work, so might as well do it. I don't have any reason not to. But I've been weird since I've been off work. Uh, I've been getting back in my workout. I used to do like really intense workouts when back in like my 20s at home. Like I drop do like a what like sometimes at my peak it was like 1,000 push-ups, 2,000 sit-ups, uh, sometimes like 800 jumping jacks. Like it would just be random. And I go out and run, uh, usually like 3 miles, something like that. And I've been trying to get back into. I've been just randomly getting back into it, going out trying to run, even with my bad knee, like, and my knee is screaming. But yeah, but anyway, yes, I'm gonna be doing quite a few of these. I might actually react to quite a few of them tonight. So you see, I got the same clothes on. My hair is still the same. I did it in rapid succession, which shouldn't because I noticed that a lot of YouTubers doing stuff from home now, or even just some news people where you could tell they dudes hair growing out, women they're not doing their hair, don't have makeup on. It's interesting seeing just people just I just be myself. I don't have to dress up or cut my hair because I haven't cut my hair. My hair I ain't even brush it. But normally I cut it, brush it, but I was like, fuck, I don't care. But yeah. So I need to do quite a few TV shows. I ain't gonna name them all here, but I'm waiting. I want to do some gameplays, but you see the mic on this thing? See this right here? I'm recording the gameplay of me playing Resident Evil 3, the demo. The audio is horrible. Like it's this buzzing in here, and I can't fix it because it plugs. It's a USB, which I should have read when I bought it, but I didn't read it. That it's a USB plug, so I had to plug it directly into the PlayStation, and it's horrible, horrible order. So I ordered another one. Should be here. Well, probably be, if it don't come tomorrow or today, then it'll be probably Monday. But at least I can use it to hear what they find there. Just a microphone and shit. The microphone was fine when I first got it, but now and it's past the 14-week return date. So anyway, yeah, three creepy true horror stories. Let's just get into this. Here we go.
I was house sitting for my grandma one weekend while she went to Florida with some of her church friends. I was sleeping in the guest bedroom next to her room. The guest bedroom always had two twin beds inside of it that my brother and I would sleep in when we had sleepovers at her house. I took the bed next to the window, but before getting into bed, I
Wow,
checked all the doors, making sure they were locked.
smart.
When I did get into bed, it
Most
was
of the
early,
people don't
and I
check
didn't
shit
actually
in
go
these
to sleep for a
videos.
while. There wasn't much to do at my grandma's house. I was just on my phone for an hour or two, watching videos, texting people, whatever. That's when I thought I could start hearing someone's voice outside. It sounded like a woman's voice, saying hello. I left the bedroom and inched my way closer to the front door, moving slow because I was trying to listen.
Hello.
It was a woman's voice, just going hello like every 10 seconds. As I got closer to the front door, I realized that's where it seemed to be coming from. My grandma's door doesn't have a peephole, but the windows in her dining room gave a clear view of the front porch, so I went over to that window to attempt to get a view of who was out there. I tried peeking my head in between the plastic blinds without making it obvious, but I guess I didn't do a good job of that, because when I looked, I did see a woman on my grandma's stoop.
She
was
right at it.
looking right at me, as if she knew I was going to be looking through those blinds. Once again, she said hello, with some freakish smile on her face.
Well,
This woman was older, but don't picture her as some innocent-looking, small old lady. She looked like she was maybe late 50s, early 60s, and something about her face just skeeved me out. I moved away from the window and thought, maybe it was one of my
Skeeved him
grandma's
out?
friends. It was midnight, though. Why would anyone come to the door this late? Why wouldn't she knock or ring the bell?
I won't even answer the door that
Why was she
late.
just standing out there going hello over and over? I was genuinely unsettled. I just went back to the guest bedroom and shut the door. Now with the door shut as opposed to before,
Let
I
me
couldn't hear
guess,
that woman
she
anymore.
gets in the house somehow.
Was that, or she just decided to leave? I started texting everyone about it, my sisters, my friends, telling them how bizarre it was. But a good amount of time passed in silence, and I was starting to calm down. My sisters were telling me to call Grandma, but there was a 0% chance she was awake, and she barely ever even checked her cell phone anyway.
Sound like
Just
my
like
dad.
that, something broke the silence. A banging at the window.
Oh, she
Not a
about to
knock
break the
nor
window.
tapping, banging. I felt that fierce pain in my chest area as my body entered that fight or flight mode. Shortly after the banging stopped, I heard that familiar voice say hello. With that boost of adrenaline, I guess I had the extra confidence to grab the blinds and push it up. There I was, face to face with this horrifying older lady, with only a thin layer of glass between us. I screamed at her smiling, gross face, I'm calling the cops.
Gross
Pulled the blind back
face.
down and ran back outside to the living room. I looked around the house, then ran upstairs to box myself into the upstairs guest bedroom. I didn't want to actually call the cops. I don't know why. I wanted to just wait it out. I crawled into the bed in the upstairs guest bedroom and tucked myself under the covers. A couple hours later, I was still awake, and I finally only then went back downstairs to look outside each window. That freaky old lady seemed to be gone.
Because she's in
Next
the
morning,
house.
I called my grandma and told her what happened. She started yelling into the phone, clearly panicking and distressed. She told me how a few days earlier, she was being watched in the grocery store by some woman about 10 years younger than her, who just kept smiling at her for no reason. I told her to calm down. I didn't entirely know whether to correlate the two or not, but when we eventually got off the phone with
God
each other,
damn.
I did have to give it a second thought. My grandma's 75, and she has lost a bit of her wits, so I do have to take some of the things she says with a grain of salt.
She a little bit older than my
She yelled into
dad.
the phone about the woman in the store really gave me the chills. And I still wonder if it could have been the same person.
That's weird. The bitch just
My name is
crazy though.
Nicholas. I'm currently a freshman at Syracuse University, which doesn't exactly sit in the
Sheesh.
campus area.
This
I
noise.
just went through a breakup with my first girlfriend, so I started getting back into the online dating scene. I was using that
Getting back
some
into
blonde girl named Stephanie.
Usually
Really
people
connected.
like, oh, I've been out of dating so long, so they get into online dating
Both
because
like
it's
to read,
easier.
go to the movies,
Or they
even
feel
have
it's
the same
easier
sense of
anyway.
humor. I suggested we go on a movie date, and she said she'd love to. She told me to meet her at some specific point near campus, and she'd pick me up. So, around 9 o'clock, I waited on some corner of a normal neighborhood block, waiting for Stephanie.
Normal
She asked me
neighborhood.
to share my location with her, and so I did. A few minutes later, I saw a car turn down the
That
street
bitch
and
setting
start
him up.
approaching me. Then it
It was
stopped
probably
behind
some
me. The
dude
driver rolled down the
setting
window.
him up.
It wasn't Stephanie, though, but some old random guy. He asked what I was doing alone out here, which was insanely weird, first of all.
I'd be like
I said
jerking
I was
off.
waiting
Get the
for
fuck out of here.
He asked if I was waiting for Stephanie, and I said, yeah, how'd you know? He said he was Stephanie's father and told me to hop in so he could give me a ride to her.
How old are you? You say you're
I
in
took a good look
college.
at him, and he looked a little old to be her father, to be honest. I'm no idiot when it comes to sketchy situations, so I said in a firm
Maybe he
voice
had her
that
late
she
in
told me
life.
you'd be picking me up.
Yeah, that's
He
weird.
claimed he didn't trust a random guy meeting up with his daughter and wanted to meet me first.
Oh no.
I took another good look at the
Even
man
if
and
that's
did the
true, I'd
same.
be like, you know what? Never
I
mind. I'm
simply
good.
started walking away in the opposite direction from where his car was facing. He started yelling, "Hey, hey," sounding surprised that I was just walking away like that. But I've heard way too many kidnapping stories to know where this could potentially go. I heard the guy's car moving, and I turned to make sure he wasn't doing a U-turn to follow me. I breathed a sigh of relief when he drove straight and turned left out of sight. I continued walking down the block.
Let me
towards
guess, this is
campus.
not the end of the
When
story.
I got to the corner of the block, I was just about to make a turn when I noticed what I was pretty sure to be the same car the man was driving, just parked on the side of the road with the light shut off.
Oh my
I
god.
briefly tried looking into the window as I passed, but the glass was tinted. I tried not making it obvious that I was suspicious and continued walking. I got a text from this so-called Stephanie person.
This dude has a great
"Why didn't
voice
you
for
get in the car
this.
with my dad?" I ignored the text and continued walking.
Because you
Looking
didn't
back to
say
see if the
anything
car
about your
moved.
dad coming.
When I got to an intersection in the road, I turned right and then full on booked it in the direction of campus. Surprisingly, I wasn't followed. I made it back to campus out of breath and started walking to my dorm building. I felt like I heard footsteps following me, though. I thought maybe I was
I
being
just
paranoid,
paranoid, yeah.
but when I heard a piece of broken glass being
Oh,
kicked
never
by someone's
mind.
shoe, I knew I was being tailed. I made a point of ducking down behind a van.
You just said
stopping
you
to
when
give
you
me
weren't
time to listen
followed.
for where the footsteps were coming. They were a few cars away from me. Then I remembered. I never stopped sharing my location with Stephanie.
Oh
Should have said that
fuck.
man.
That's why.
I saw him. It was that old man. He was approaching from between two cars across from me. He yelled something that I didn't fully understand, but it sounded like he said, "Come back and I'll take you to her." He had to be like 60-something. There's no way he would catch me if I sprinted. I
Yeah, I
lost
don't
him
know.
easily when I ran.
He might be
I
in
made
good
it back to my
shape.
dorm room. My roommate wasn't there, so I had no one to talk to about it. But when I lay in my bed, I got another text from that man. It was shocking. It said, "You're a little piece of fucking shit. You're lucky you got away. I would have strangled your ugly ass."
I'm like,
I
oh,
still
I'm
have his
ugly
screenshot.
now?
I replied saying thanks for the threat that's going straight to the police, and I blocked his number. I still have the conversation saved as evidence, and I plan on going to the police with it eventually. Hopefully they are able to do something about it.
Eventually. You should have already did that shit. You should have went to the police that night. He probably went and killed somebody else.
When I was 18, I had a side job as a part-time janitor at my high school over the summer. I would work sometimes days and sometimes nights, anywhere from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m., depending on how much money I needed. Oftentimes, I would be left to lock up the building when the older janitors have left.
Wait, did he say
This was the
9
time
a.m.
before the high
to
school
12
had
a.m.?
cameras installed in every single hallway. So one night, one of my superiors, Tom, had to leave early, meaning I'd be finishing up the rest of my shift alone, and I'd be locking up for the night. He told me to text him if I need anything, as he always did, and then he left. I loved it when I was left alone, because usually I'd just do half an hour of work and then just hang around on my phone or leave early and still get paid for the whole shift. I definitely pushed
It
it.
sound like a
things I'd
cool
get away with
gig.
at that place. One of the things Tom asked me to do before leaving was bring all the extra seats in the gymnasium from the assembly down to the basement storage room. So I figured I'd do that, then just go home. I grabbed a stack of 6 chairs and started carrying it down to the basement. The lights in the storage room were very dim. They kind of suck. The whole basement of that school wasn't exactly pretty. It felt more like a basement to a warehouse. Anyway, there were what appeared to be a bunch of art mannequins covered by paint cloths. You know, those big things that look like blankets.
Oh, that sounds
It seems
spooky.
all of the school's art supplies were stored down here. I dropped the stack of chairs down where the rest of the chairs were stored, and went back up to the gym to get more. When I came back down with more chairs, I noticed one of the mannequins was exposed now. The blanket was removed from on top of it. I know for sure it was covered minutes earlier.
I would have
It was
just
one of the front
left.
ones. I texted Tom saying, "I think someone's down in the basement." He said back, "What do you mean?" And I said, "One of the art
Bitch,
cloths
someone's
removed."
down in the basement.
He took a minute to respond, saying no one else should be there.
No shit. That's what
I
I'm
remembered
texting you,
something.
dumbass.
The yard cloth, tucked in the corner of the storage room, sitting outside of the light that was produced at the center of the room. It was covering something, surely. I started to tiptoe over to
Oh
it.
shit. I would have
But
been
as I
like,
didn't get
nope.
away from it, I realized whatever was under that cloth was moving just ever so slightly. There was undoubtedly someone hiding under there. I ran back upstairs and
Yeah.
locked the basement door.
Thank you. I
I
thought he's
texted
gonna
Tom
try
saying
to
someone is hiding under a cloth
take
in
the
the
damn
basement.
cloth off of
He
him.
said call the cops, but I insisted he just come back since he only just left like 10 minutes ago.
Call the
He didn't
police.
want to come back though. He
Yeah.
told me to be a man and confront whoever was down there.
Man, fuck
So
that.
I went down to the basement again. However, the cloth was now strewn flat on the floor, and whoever was hiding under there was gone. But possibly the scariest thing was yet to happen. As I stood in the storage room,
This is your fault. You
there
should have
were
called the
loud
police.
metallic thumps coming from above my head. I looked up and saw indents slowly forming in the large air vent above me.
Oh shh.
Someone was crawling through the main vent, then just stopped literally above me. And then bangs. Bangs like whoever was in there was trying to break open the floor of the air vent. I didn't know what was happening, but I was officially done with this.
Yeah, you should have
I
been
ran up
done.
the stairs, locked up the school, and went home.
Well,
I told Tom the
didn't
partial
call the
truth
police.
next day, that I thought I saw someone in the corner, and it was gone when I went back. And I claimed there was nothing else I could say. Thank God it was my last week there, so it wasn't my concern anymore.
This dude's kind of an asshole. He didn't even call the police. He just like, not my problem. It's the next guy's problem. Like, it's kind of an asshole thing to do. Especially like that. It seemed like the dude was trying to break the vent over him to fall on top of him or something. Like come on. That last story, that was an assholeish thing to do. I've never had anything like that. I mean, not like that in a school. I've had situations where you hear things where I've been in like my high school or even different colleges I've been to where it's late and I'm like the only one there or very few people there, and you will hear noises or you think you saw something, and then I remember one time I thought I saw someone clear a corner, and I just for some reason just sprinted because I was already nervous because the lights had just started like cutting off randomly in the hallways, and I just sprinted because I wanted to be near somebody, and I did had just went around the corner, and I wasn't that far, maybe about 15, 20 feet. I sprinted towards them, went around the corner, they were gone. And I looked, and they said they couldn't have got down that hallway that fast because there was nowhere. It was just unless you went in the classroom. I looked at the classrooms and I didn't hear a door open or close. So, and it was also that type of college where they had the glass on the doors, but all those door people had like teachers had like stuff over the windows, so like paper and shit. So I was like, yeah, whatever, and I just kept. I like sprinted out of the bed because I fell down the damn steps, these metal stairs. Well, they had like metal covering on the edge of the steps, and I ended up tripping because it was ice on the stairs. I probably could have sued them because they didn't put this was in St. Louis. They didn't put salt down, and I went down the stairs, but then I was also running, so and I slipped and fell down the stairs. I didn't fall down like all the way because I would have really got hurt. I fell down like maybe the last like 3 or 4 steps on my back on the step, like just fell backwards. And it was a camera out there, and I did think about suing, but at the same time I was running, and I know they saw me. Yeah, the camera if the camera was working, I know it saw me running down the steps. So, because it saw me, because the way the camera was angled, it was kind of angled so you could see the door open, and you go down the stairs, and I hit that door, like kind of like like a half spritz or like bust the door open, like right downstairs. So I know this saw me do that. So I was like, I ain't gonna sue you. Plus, I wasn't really hurt, but it was just like, which money can I get? Oh, like it's one of the community college. Oh, but anyway, hope y'all enjoyed my reaction. If you did, sure hit that thumbs up button, hit that bell. You'll be notified when I upload new videos. Subscribe down below. Comment, share this video. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.